Hello, CryptoQ Media. I'm glad you're back on my channel. For a long time, the idea that XRP isn't retail ready has worried me greatly. Furthermore, it seems like it has been blown out of proportion for a while. But I'd want to address a few points about this in this video so you can see if it's true or not. Does evidence exist to support the claim that XRP was never meant for market sale? Without a doubt, we will be talking about it. Here we have the currently trading exchange-traded funds ETFs for Ethereum and Bitcoin. I mean, really, right now all I care about is memorizing the names of these ETFs. Right, prominent figures in the field, including as BlackRock and Franklin Templeton, are starting to tokenize with public blockchains. Wisdom Tree, Franklin, Van Eck, and BlackRock are among the other significant players. Even as recently as a few years ago, this did not exist. The current location of our spacecraft is just astounding. Maybe I'm the only one, but this keeps popping into my head. I feel like I finally understood, and even though we're in the thick of this crazy roller coaster ride, I can see the end destination. We keep going up and down the hills. We are patiently waiting for the market to react to all coins, since there has been very little action for older currencies. But I'd appreciate it if you could understand where we are right now, with regard to cyclical trends and the adoption of certain technologies. Just recently have we seen the beginnings of institutionalization in this area. Only to put things in perspective, let's think about a time 6 years ago. This is only a partial rundown. Paul Barron TV just recently highlighted this list, which is hilarious considering it was just making the rounds. Look here for a complete list of all the relationships. Frankly, I'm just scratching the surface here. In 2017 or maybe 2016, I can't remember exactly, Ripple revealed 100 institutional players. They include the most famous names in the field. All of you, including your family and friends, use these banks. It would amaze me if you couldn't find a card featuring one of these famous people in your wallet at this very moment. Just compare the list of names connected to Ripple 6 years ago, when the conflict broke out, to the list of names connected to Ripple now. Think about Fiona Murray. Her role as managing director of Ripple's APAC operations is crucial. Before joining Fiserv Oracle, she worked for a number of other major companies. I have already touched on the subject of Fiserv, a huge firm that specializes in digital financial technology, so I may bring it up again in passing. Plus, in an interview from November of last year, she revealed that 500 businesses are working with Ripple, with many of them utilizing XRP as a bridge currency. In my opinion, XRP is not currently functioning as a bridge currency. They appear to be planning to use XRP as a bridge currency. It was greatly inflated by many. The fact remains, though, that they're working with over 500 artists right now. Institutions of higher learning may make up a number of the groups. Potentially included are central banks. While most people are oblivious to Ripple's massive network at the moment, we know that they are in negotiations with 20 or 30 central banks across the globe. In what ways does this portend XRP's trajectory in the retail sector going forward? I wrote a piece on it in September of last year, when the argument about XRP's retail use really started to heat up, so I'd want to go into more detail about it now. Things could get dicey when this market matures. However, I did say that the idea that XRP was never meant for retail is pretty exaggerated. Having an impact does not constitute a rule. It is possible for anyone to buy or use XRP. A major focus for XRP is institutions. The biggest hurdle, in my opinion, to retail participation in the trip is the cost. Even a single Bitcoin would be out of reach for the average person right now. With this attitude, things have only been worse. The price of one Bitcoin has risen from about 1,000 in September to about 70,000 today, making it extremely difficult for the ordinary person to buy even one Bitcoin. The retail industry lags behind for many reasons, but the most significant is pricing. Setting high XRP values is mocked by many, but that's okay. What matters is whether retail will have enough XRP when the time comes. How many individuals can genuinely afford to buy, honestly, 10,000 XRP, 50,000 XRP, 100,000 XRP, etc.? Even with today's pricing, owning considerable volumes of XRP remains challenging. As institutional adoption and consumption grow, I believe that many of these assets will push retail out of owning significant amounts. You should bear in mind that this region is quite young. Therefore, we should all jump at the incredible opportunities that this market gives us. At that moment, everything will start to change. So long as no one is considering the idea of, oh, let's hype up a meme coin, then clearly nothing is happening. I propose that we fill it up. I think we should pump both of these meme coins. For the time being, that is the consensus in those fields. Could XRP be pumped in some way? Is it possible to create this pump? That pump is something I am not familiar with. Yes, I do understand that we are focused on making a quick buck. That is the primary selling factor. Organizations do not represent who we are. How about we get to the deployment or whatever it is that we're planning to do without having millions of people doing nothing? Our target is the receipt of payment, which I have previously indicated I believe would be forthcoming. The real trend in this sector, though, deserves most of your attention and consideration. A new financial landscape is forming, as discussed in tokenization and CBDC, yet nobody is paying attention. We are currently examining XRP drops. This option has never been open to the general population before. Only major corporations were able to invest in Bitcoin. In contrast to the epochal events of the dot-com bubble, institutional investors are now flooding the market. There was pre-existing retail and speculative interest. So, XRP dips is basically just restating what Chad Stein said in his post. On top of that, we have accomplished something no one has ever done before. We have achieved the broad adoption of a technology that could completely alter our way of life. Their objection is based on that basis. Because of that, they want it to look terrible. Their desire for our participation decreases as our numbers increase. It is their hope that no one finds out. But keep in mind that this is the single most critical thing for the project's completion. There must be extensive public stress testing for it to function. Our role as beta testers for the future financial network will be compensated. Institutions are no different. Some, like Bitcoin, have been around for quite some time. Personally, I believe Bitcoin was the government or a major institutional player must have had a hand in creating Bitcoin, at least in my opinion. It has not persuaded me. Just like it were made by some random dude someplace. No, it has failed to persuade me. Seems like this has been planned all along. Remember what crypto is at all times. Looking back, the internet plays a role again. What were the ways that the internet fell short? The internet wasn't built to handle the massive volumes of people seen in online gambling, e-commerce, and similar platforms. So, what has the internet failed to provide? A transactional basis is missing, which is an essential component. Almost no online currency ever came into existence. Crypto is a perfect fit for the scenario. This is the foundational support system for money that the internet just lacks. It makes complete sense now that we're devoting our entire attention to it and taking its size into account, since this has been planned from the start. Whether or not the appropriate authorities and governments were present, this was inevitable. Bitcoin was, without a doubt, the initial spark. We need to think about where the money is going in the end now. Its eventual destination will be utility-driven assets. We will immediately begin talking to the big firms about XRP and its possible retail applications. Click the subscribe button and then tell me what you think when you're done.